The hamlet of Deerhurst lies on the banks of the River Severn, 2 miles outside of Tewkesbury in Gloucestershire. This was a rich and powerful religious and political centre in England before the Norman conquest in 1066. It's unique in having not only the most complete surviving Anglo Saxon church, but also a chapel built by Earl Odda. The energy is quite heavy here, and Kelly and I were guided to be pillars of peace on this sacred journey. This is the finest Saxon font in existence today, dating from the 9th century. It was carved from a single block of limestone. Absolutely beautiful. And amazingly rediscovered on a local farm, where it was being used as a drinking trough for livestock.
So when I put the dowsing rod over the top, it actually spins round, and you could say part of that is an informational field of the spirals that are on the side of the font itself. So it's an energy movement, but also you could say that this holds water. So by spinning round, it's saying this is where the water is. Water itself is consciousness. And as you can see right now, it's getting quite excited, and it reacts to people that connect with it and communicate with it. So at this moment in time, I'm just sending my love and my gratitude to the water that is beneath this ground, this space.
Look at these, aren't they absolutely beautiful? This pair of beasts' heads at the porch entrance are known as label stops. Local legend has it that they are representations of a mythical beast, the Deerhurst Dragon.
I actually want to nuzzle him.
This is the Anglo Saxon architecture, and you wonder whether the triangle is quite significant in bringing the power into this space.
Horseshoes are traditionally put on the front of your home, actually, and it's to bring in good luck. So maybe that's why they put them there. So you've got these carved angel faces, or I'm guessing they're angels. I mean, they could well be saints, higher beings, but they're everywhere. Please now show me where this crossing is of the power centre of this church. See is it's the crossing point actually where there is some water here as well. You've got the earth energies allowing that connection to God. So people who stood in churches as priests and vicars, they knew that it was part of the earth energy that enabled that beautiful connection.
The Deerhurst Angel is a very famous piece of Anglo-Saxon sculpture found high on the south wall of a ruined apse.
Was it placed here for a purpose? Was the purpose more than to simply look good? Oh yes. Is there a level of protection that the angel gives to this space? Yes. Not an angel this time, a gargoyle. But there he is, peeping over the top. Perhaps he's trying to keep us out or keep others out.
Oh, I love it in here.
It's cold. It certainly seems somewhere to be quiet, actually, to not talk. It's strange. People facing stuff here. And this would have been a floor. This looks like it was an old fireplace, Kelly. Yeah, it does. You can imagine a family living here, perhaps, using it.
The chapel lay undiscovered for centuries, its walls hidden amidst the rambling rooms of the 17th century farmhouse known as Abbot's Court. The nave had been made into a kitchen and the chancel had become a bedroom. The existence of this chapel was unknown until 1865, when it was discovered by the Reverend George Butterworth.
So I'm just looking at this book at the moment called Sacred England by Jean Michel, and it's the guide to the legends, lore and landscapes of England's sacred places. So I highly recommend this. Is my Bible. The church at Tewkesbury is one of the most magnificent in England, but Deerhurst is much older and is almost unique in having two buildings, a church and a chapel, that go back to Saxon and probably earlier times. The precise dates are a bit of a puzzle to antiquarians, and this adds to the air of mystery that pervades the entire village, which is in keeping with its ancient reputation as a place of unusual sanctity. What I also get from this is there is a lot of wealth that would have been here. Odda himself was a earl and, was a kingsman, actually. And to me, this was the place of power.
Evidence in the Domesday Book suggests Odda was one of the great landowners of England. The chronicler John of Worcester described Odda as a lover of churches, restorer of the poor, and helper of the oppressed. This is actually a replica. The original dedication stone was found in an adjoining orchard by someone in 1675. And it says, translated from the Latin, Earl Odda ordered this royal chapel to be built and dedicated in honour of the Holy Trinity for the good of the soul of his brother Aelfric. And you can see Aelfric's name written right in the centre of this tablet. Aelfric died in Deerhurst, and Bishop Eldred dedicated this chapel on April the 12th in the 14th year of the reign of Edward, King of the English, and that's in 1056 in the reign of Edward the Confessor. Odda died the same year. He'd been ordained a monk and was buried at Perpetual Abbey.
I feel much conflict here at some time. Now, whether that relates to the War of the Roses in Tewkesbury, I would imagine, yes, that certainly would have happened around here. But even before then...
The Roman occupation, for a start, Kelly.
Absolutely. But it feels, wealth, conflict, and maybe Odda was... again, his sadness at his brother passing, he's trying to create this sacredness here, because if it was a place of conflict, which I believe it was, that would have unconsecrated the grounds. The drum beat changed, it shifted, and that was because I felt something or someone came in. And I also feel that this place actually likes a bit of drumming because it's exciting the energy, it's the sound waves, and drums would have been played as well as other instruments around here. I remember, this place is linked to the Whiteleaved Oak, the Perpetual choirs, and so sound was used with chanting, drums, bells, all sorts to really keep the land in harmony. So I feel like we were joined actually when we did that, because suddenly it got very serious and I was like, whoa, this has changed, this has shifted. So I do feel that there's a recognition that we're trying to connect here and that we're being guided.
We headed towards an oak facing the River Severn to connect with this ancient land as pillars of peace, working for the highest good.
Every time we go somewhere, there is always something. It's been really windy and it's really cold and your knees playing up and all the equipment.
The wind whipped around and affected the sound. But keep watching, because Kelly channels an important message.
I did tune in to different timelines and different dimensions. Two things really stood out, and one of them was Romans marching by the side of the river, and the other one was horrible atrocities of battles that wasn't particularly pleasant. And when I was actually sat and I did the channeling, I was in communication with the people that actually got slain. I believe that it was most likely the Romans, along with some helpers, shall we say, that were actually the people that did those atrocities. I'm going to tune in and to see what comes through. Your world is very active now. There is too much busyness. Finding that stillness even now, as the wind whips around you, it easily distracts you, and we ask you to go deeper inside. Right at the centre of your heart centre is where you are safe. Where you will see and feel us connect with you. We lived here, and we tended this land. We witnessed war and conflict. We lost our wives and our children at the hands of those who invaded us. We ask for your help in bringing peace here. And we ask that the tree itself anchor that peace deep into the earth, into history. Just allow it now. The frequencies of the divine source, its colours, sounds as we create our channel together. And those sounds, those frequencies, entering the earth, going back in time. You can't take away the past, but you can erase the heaviness. I wasn't expecting that because at first I thought the tree was going to speak, and then suddenly there was a group of people came in. Sacred sites have been built on many times by many different people. I feel like these were nature loving, earth loving. Yeah, they were happy here. There was Peacey here, and then there was some sort of invasion. As much as Deerhurst is a beautiful place and it has some amazing history there, I found it to be a little bit oppressive and heavy. Sometimes what places need is just peace. And so I think when we did our work, which was the Pillars of Peace, I think we actually really did what was needed, which was anchor peace into that beautiful oak tree and allowing the oak tree to disperse that peace across the land through its roots, through the mycelium, and into the land itself, going throughout all time and all space. We've been on the go all morning. Now this soup is very thick, so it's made by me, and it has got butternut squash, sweet potato, leeks, onions, mushrooms. This soup's good. This soup is wonderful. Send our love and gratitude to this trip, to this land, to Odda, to all the different kingdoms of nature. Just asking that peace prevails and that love guides. I think, the reason we went there is because we were called to, and sometimes in order to do things, they're not supposed to be easy, and we're really trying to take people on a journey with us. Certainly spirituality, there's a belief that, it's all light and airy fairy and healing, and as if, we're on the receiving end, and that's actually not the case. Sometimes, it's us that has to acknowledge the past, acknowledge, what's needed. And I think, we were definitely called to go there, really, in order to feel the polarity, if I'm honest, of actually there's been some atrocities and heaviness and darkness there. And actually just going there as a pillar of peace, which is, again, what we're trying to achieve is bring to people's awareness our connection with the land, our connection with nature, our connection with history and different dimensions. We did what we needed to do, but it's certainly very, very different to the other places that we've been to and the other places we intend to go to.